Good evening, everyone. I hope you're doing well. I am adulting so hard today that it is not fun at all. I renewed my car insurance, my car registration. I had to go to the bank. I got my taxes done, and I did a whole bunch of other stuff. And I have been looking out for some sunglasses, and I can't find any that fit my face great. So I just didn't pick any up. I did, however, just purchase this shirt because it is so hot today in Calgary that I did not dress for the weather, and I didn't want to go all the way home and then have to go back out. What I was wearing was this thermal, like almost sweater, but it's a long sleeve shirt from Mountain Warehouse, and it was way too hot for today. So I thought I was gonna pass out, so I just ended up going into Winners, and I bought this shirt, and the back is super cute. And then I got this shirt, and I thought that was super cute. And I also bought this shirt. So they're nice and outdoorsy. It'll be fun to wear when I go camping and doing all the things. But someone recently was not very nice and made the comment about me vlogging and not working. Basically, they were accusing me of lying about my illness. Because I can vlog, I should be able to work. But there's a huge misunderstanding there. It's not at all the same thing as a paying job, because I do it on my own terms. It's not like someone's expecting me to show up every day or every week or something like that. As you guys know, I took a month off because I just couldn't vlog. I was down in the dumps, my health was really bad, and then I just took a week off recently. And with a regular job, I would have gotten fired for doing that. There's no way that I could have taken a month off of my regular job. This is where people get it wrong, is that I can choose my hours, the day that I vlog, the time that I vlog, and I can stop, pause, or cancel something if my body says no, it's too much. I can take my painkillers if needed. You guys have seen me drugged on the channel before, and I can't do that at a regular job. I can take my ice packs and my heating pad. I can make hot tea to help settle my stomach, and my ginger chews and everything like that. And I can lay in bed when needed, which I cannot do with a regular job. A job doesn't work like that. A job requires consistency, showing up on the hard days, pushing through symptoms I cannot physically push through. And it's not about effort. I do try my best. It's about the capacity and the physical limitations that my body has. And yeah, I just don't have the strength and the energy to keep even a part-time job anymore, because my body just does what it wants. Even though my mind wants a job, my body says no. And I have struggled with this thought for a very long time, but it's nothing that I can control, unfortunately. I mean, I've been going to the doctors as much as possible, doing whatever I can to keep me pushing forward and keeping me as healthy as possible. But I can't change what is happening with my body. It's like I'm in a life raft in the ocean with 2 broken legs, and there's people on the shore that are pointing at me and laughing and stating, just swim to shore. And it's like, well, I can't, because I have 2 broken legs, and you're just pointing at me and laughing and calling me lazy. What's also happening in that scenario is that it's minimizing. It's not that bad. Everyone has struggles. Well, yeah, everyone has struggles. That is true. But some struggles are harder than the next. Fixing too fast. Just do X. It's like the people who say, have you tried? Or just do this. Blame framing. Why aren't you trying harder? That's a big one. I think a lot of chronic illness patients get, but you just need to try harder, or just pray more. Everything will be okay. And emotional distancing, joking or mocking because they don't know how to respond. And imagine being in this life raft with 2 broken legs, with people pointing at you saying, just swim to shore, everything's gonna be fine. It's not that easy. And so we get a lot of judgment in the chronic illness community, and judgment is kind of when you evaluate something that's good or bad, that is right or wrong, worthy or unworthy. And it often comes with a conclusion and emotional labeling. An example would be, they're lazy because they're not moving. The focus is on assigning blame or value. So the outcome is often distance, defensiveness, and premature closure. And you don't actually get anywhere when you act like that. Like, who are you helping when you're just judging? You're not helping anyone. And how judging makes me feel, it makes me feel very overwhelmed, unable to function at times, and unable to function definitely in the way that other healthy people would expect me to function. It is very unsupportive, and I feel really disrespected, I feel minimized, and I definitely feel dismissed. You're actually doing more harm than good when you judge. What understanding looks like, and what I would love for people to do and understand and have more empathy, would sound more like, that looks incredibly hard. You're dealing with real limitations right now. What kind of sport would actually help you get through this? You shouldn't have to swim like this in this condition, or how can I help? Just the basic how can I help means so much to us, because it shows that you care. It shows that you don't know what to do, admittedly, but you're willing to do whatever it takes to help us push forward. And that really, I think that's the simplest thing for healthy people to remember, is just how can I help? How this makes me feel is, it makes me feel validated, supported, like I can push through, like that I have the care and that I feel seen, and that I'm worth something and I'm part of the community. And you can do that just by saying, how can I help? Or that looks really hard, and just sending validation my way. Understanding is when you try to see something the way it is. It looks for context, causes, and perspective before conclusions. An example would be, they might feel overwhelmed, under-resourced, or dealing with something I don't see. The focus is on curiosity and context, and the outcome is often insight, empathy, and better decisions. You gain knowledge from just trying to understand others and empathize with others. You might gain a whole new perspective just by listening and caring for someone else. And the key difference here is understanding stays with the process, judging stops at the conclusion. And anyway, that is my whole speech about that. And this is why it matters. Judging can be fast and satisfying, but it often oversimplifies. It's short-lived. Understanding takes more effort, but it tends to produce better outcomes and makes communities much safer and much stronger. It makes us safer, stronger, more empathetic and understanding when we work together to best help each other out. And yeah, that is my rant for today. I know that a lot of people in the chronic illness community has come across this quite a few times. And if this does happen to you, I am so sorry. I wish there was something to do to mute those people or to give them a whole new perspective without even saying anything. But I also don't wish anything bad on anyone, of course, and I would not wish this EDS or fibro or chronic migraines or endometriosis, which, by the way, I think I might have again, on my worst enemy. I want understanding and empathy, that's all. I understand that it can be really hard to do coming from the healthy perspective, because, I mean, how are you really gonna know what it feels like? You're not. Like, nobody's gonna understand to the extent that we do, and that's not very fair of us to make them understand what we're going through. But as long as you show some type of support, like how can I help, or even getting groceries for people, or shoveling snow, or doing whatever you can to help them when you know that they are struggling. And chronic is chronic. We don't heal, we don't get better, maybe mentally, but we don't, there's no cure. So even if we're having a good day, it does not mean that in the next hour we're gonna feel like absolute shit. So it is just up and down a lot of times, unless you are in remission, and then usually it's like a stable, you're okay. I was in remission with endometriosis since 2015, but I started to get a lot of like bowel issues, like more so than normal, because I do have colonic inertia and small intestinal dysmotility, but I've noticed really bad pain and stuff like that. So I'm thinking maybe it did spread. I'm not sure. I would have to go to, I don't know if they have endometriosis specialists in Calgary, but if you know of one, please comment below or send me a message so that I can get the help that I need. I would hope that you would also comment below so that everyone can get the help that they need, in case, you know, someone else is like me and they're trying to search for a specialist here. I know specialists are very limited in lots of different areas here, so it can be quite difficult, but my fingers are crossed, guys. My fingers are crossed, and as are my legs, because I'm hypermobile. This is the way I sit when I vlog sometimes. But yeah, I'm just gonna take a sip of this because I am exhausted. I'm sweating. That's how hot it is in Calgary. And in 2 days, I was trying to explain to Daniela from Lost in Wonder that if you haven't checked out the channel, please go check it out now. She is absolutely amazing. She also has another channel called Through the Looking Glass, where she shares her story with chronic illness. But Lost in Wonder is her camping channel. Freaking 10 out of 10, guys. Like and share. But I was explaining Chinooks to her, because we get Chinooks. It's a weather phenomenon here in Calgary where the barometric pressure changes like 20, not 20 degrees. It's a giant jump though, and it can cause chronic migraines and stuff like that. But it is so hot. It's so freaking hot. I'm sweating through this shirt. That's how hot it is. And I'm the one who's always cold. And 2 days from now, it's supposed to snow. And that's how it is the whole month of April. It will snow. The last time it snowed, it was pretty heavy. And then 2 days later, it was hot. And then 2 days later, it snowed. And then 2 days later, it's hot. So you can imagine what my body is going through with all of these weather changes, because they are literally every other day to every day. It's absolutely insane in April. If you come to Calgary in April, just know that weather is up in the air all the time. It's never stable. This is the most unstable month of the entire year. But yeah, so the only thing last that I need to do is I gotta go see Dr. Reddy for some lidocaine injections, and yeah, that's about it. I have to run a few more errands, and then yeah, that's it. I'm gonna pause it because there's people next to me. Okay, sorry about that. The people next to me were chatting by the car, and I didn't want to show their face or anything. I didn't know if they wanted to be on camera, and yeah, don't know them, so anyway, I hope you guys are in as little pain as you possibly can be. I hope you have a ton of adventures planned, and I hope you always remember that you are indeed incurably awesome. I'll see you guys on Tuesday at 5 p.m. Mountain Time. Bye for now.